have lost my address. I will take you, don't worry. But first you come, take food. Then Swami said, no, Lord is there. Lord is there to protect in India. Lord is there to protect in America also. It is He who is doing the whole drama. We are just instruments. And then she took him to the Parliament Religions. This is all the background. On 9th of September 1893, Swamiji was passing his night in the railway wagon. On 11th September, when he was told to give his speech, now he had no idea of the Parliament Religions because he had never given a public speech excepting in the Mehboob College in Hyderabad. There was no public speech he gave so far. He was just talking to some people, that's all. And he never imagined when he saw the grandeur and 7,000 people trying to hunger. And all the other speakers had prepared speeches. Now he never came speech. He never prepared any speech also. And he was terrified. Then the organizer told, you speak. No, afterwards. Like that he went on. Because he doesn't know what he should speak. He has not prepared the speech. He was awe-struck by so much of crowd. Then in the afternoon, Dr. Beres said, if you want to speak, you speak. Otherwise, don't speak. So he thought this is the last chance. And then he got up, came to this podium, and then closed his eyes, remembered his Guru Sri Ramakrishna, remembered Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and he started his speech, dear sisters and brothers of America. And he told only these words, and all the 7,000 people stood and clapped and clapped and clapped for more than 2 minutes. And Swamiji was wonderstruck, what has happened, something wrong? But then he understood that no, he was being appreciated. But he had told not in a dramatic way. The words came out from, why they all stood up? Because the words came from the heart of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda had practiced harmony of religions, had practiced universal brotherhood in his own life. He had been singing the song of Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal emperor, in his life. Whenever he used to come Sri Ramakrishna said, Naren, please song. Both were great experts in singing. And Naren will sing many songs. Then Naren said, I'm going. No. You cannot go before you sing that song. What was that song? The song written by the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Zafar. He was a Sufi saint, but the whole message of Vedanta is there. तुझसे हमने दिल को लगाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है, एक तुझको अपना पाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. सबके मकान दिल का मकीन तू, कौन सा दिल है जिसमें नहीं तू, हर एक दिल में तू ही समाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. काबा में क्या, देवल में क्या, तेरी परवरिश होगी सब जहां, सभी ने तुझको सिर है झुकाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. अर्श से लेकर फर्श जमी तक और जमी से अर्श बरी तक, जहां में देखा तू ही नजर आया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. क्या मलाया, क्या इंसान, क्या हिंदू, क्या मुसलमान, जैसा चाहा तूने बनाया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. सोचा समझा देखा भाला, तुझ जैसा न कोई ढूंढ निकाला, अब यह समझ में जफर की आया, जो कुछ है सो तू ही है. This is the song that Swamiji had been singing. This is the message of Vedanta. The whole world is permeated by one universal consciousness. This has been verified experimentally by the modern quantum mechanics, that is the holistic universe. This is the song that gives the feeling of that Sarvam Khalidam Brahma, Isha Vasamidam Sarvam Yatkincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Taktena Bhunjita Mahagrada Kasya Siddhanam. The same Brahman, the same that reality is permeating the whole universe. This he had been telling, and he had seen with his own eyes his master Sri Ramakrishna practicing various religions by turn. First worshipping Mother Kali, then Rama, then Krishna, had the vision of Ram, had the vision of Krishna, had the vision of Kali. Then he practiced Tantras, then he practiced Advait Vedanta and went to Samadhi for 6 months, Sri Ramakrishna. And then he practiced Islam, and he had the vision of Muhammad Paigambar. And then he practiced Christianity, and then he got the vision of Jesus Christ, who embraced him and disappeared into him. He had seen all this. He said Sri Ramakrishna's life was itself a parliament of religions. For these parliament of religions was nothing for him. And so he spoke from the heart. For him, yes, all of them were dear real sisters and brothers. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that thing was embedded in his blood. And because the words came out from his heart, it touched the hearts of Americans. And they all stood up and they clapped and clapped and clapped. And there was a very small message that Swamiji gave, only because out of 5 minutes, 2 minutes gone in clapping only. Only 3 minutes left. Within 3 minutes, he gave the message that transformed the whole world. Not only America, the whole world, where he gave the message that sectarianism, bigotry, and fanaticism have long possessed this beautiful earth and drenched it often and often with blood. Now their time has come, and I fervently pray that the bell that tolled this morning in honor of this convention may be the death knell of all sorts of fanaticism, of all sorts of dogmatism, and of all sorts of persecution in the name of religion, whether with the pen or whether with the sword. This is what he fervently prayed, but we did not listen. 9/11, after 108 years exactly, 9/11 World Tower broke. Why? Fanaticism. Even now we have to take the message. So that is the message Swamiji gave in that Parliament of Religions. Overnight he became a hero in all the newspapers, front page, Swamiji's photo. In all the streets there was big holdings of Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda, the great Hindu monk of India. And the New York Herald, one of the most popular newspapers, wrote about Swami Vivekananda. So many great people have come from various religions. So many leaders have come, religious leaders from all over the world. But the greatest figure in the Parliament of Religions is Swami Vivekananda. That is what they wrote. The greatest figure in the Parliament of Religions is Swami Vivekananda. Only 30 years old, one of the youngest monks that time, one of the youngest leaders present in that platform. The greatest figure in the Parliament of Religions is Swami Vivekananda. The next sentence is more important. After listening to him, we think how foolish it is on our part to send missionaries to India. Their religion is so great, rather we should invite missionaries from India. The whole table turned. And this transformation was brought out. India, which was considered a savage country, an uncivilized country, uncultured country, suddenly became the country of spiritual culture, the great spiritual culture. And now they started thinking about India in great terms. This whole transformation, this was the first victory. Aurobindo says this was the first victory won by Swami Vivekananda, the world victory. He was a Vishwa Vijeta. Because intellectually he had made an impression on America that no, India is not a savage country, or uncivilized country, uncultured country, the country of serpents and snakes and snake charmers. No, it is a country with the highest philosophy of Vedanta. This Swamiji gave and the whole Trantam. At that time, such an impression was created. There was so much of demand for the lectures of Swamiji. Swamiji had to stay for 3.5 years more in America. Of course, he went in between to London also, Europe also. Now, when Swamiji was staying in Chicago, at that time, the richest person of the world was John D. Rockefeller. The richest person of the world, the emperor of petroleum industry. At that time, he was in great disappointing mood. And all his hair had gone. He had become bald. A very typical type of disease had come because of the anxiety that he was undergoing. And he was contemplating suicide. At that time, one of his friends said, who was a partner, he said, you know, in my house, Swami Vivekananda, an Indian yogi, is staying. And he's a great orator and a greatly wise person. I think you should come to him and you can get advice from him. Rockefeller said, what? I to go to an advice from a beggar? You know, we are all beggars. We are all professional beggars. We are living on charity, on donations. So we monks are beggars. He said, what? I to go to a beggar for getting advice? No, I will not go. And he did not go. One fine morning, suddenly, he came to the place of residence of where Swamiji was staying. He called the bell. The butler opened the door. Rockefeller went inside. Now Swamiji at the time was not in drawing room. He was in study room. Without being announced, he went to the study room. Now as you know, Swamiji had tremendous power of concentration. He will do one thing at a time. He was fully engrossed in his study. He did not notice Rockefeller coming. Rockefeller stood for some time. And when Swamiji did not notice, he knocked at the table. And Swamiji looked up. Rockefeller said, I am Rockefeller. Swamiji said, what do you want? Now Rockefeller was not prepared for this type of treatment. Rockefeller name, the President of America would get up and hear the beggar sitting and asking, what do you want? So he became very much annoyed. He said, I don't want anything. Then Swami said, then why have you come? Now he had no answer, he had come without invitation. Then Swamiji said, my dear Rockefeller, I know why you have come. You have come here because you do not have peace of mind. And then Swami Vivekananda narrated many incidents from the life of Rockefeller, which no one else knew except Rockefeller. And he became very much excited. How do you know? How do you come to know about this? Who has told all these secrets to you? Swamiji smiled and said, do you think it is necessary somebody should tell me? I can see through your mind as I can see through a glass almirah. Then Rockefeller became very much anxious. He has come to know all my secrets inside. Then Swamiji said, my dear Rockefeller, I will give a piece of advice. Remember, you are not the owner of your wealth. You are only a custodian of your wealth. Utilize this money for removing the sufferings of millions of people. By that only you will get peace of mind. There is no other way by which you can get peace of mind. Now Rockefeller was not prepared to listen to anybody's advice, least of all from a beggar, so he became very much annoyed and he left abruptly as abruptly he had come. He left immediately, abruptly. But after a few days again he came. Similar fashion, called the bell. The butler opened the door. He went inside. Swamiji was not in his drawing room, he was in study room. So again he went to his study room. Swamiji was fully engrossed. Then he came and knocked at the table. Then Swamiji looked up. Then Rockefeller put a piece of paper on his table in which he had made an announcement of a very huge donation for a public cause. And when Swamiji read it, Rockefeller said, now you must thank me. I have followed your advice. Swamiji said, well, it is for you to thank me. Because by following my advice, you will get peace of mind which cannot be purchased by millions of dollars in the market. That was a first very huge donation of Rockefeller. Not that he had made not donation. You know, he had made donations, but they were small donations. This was a very huge donation for a public cause. I was trying to do research. What was that donation? We do not know. This is my gesture, just a small gesture. I may be wrong. When I went in 2010 to Chicago University, there Rockefeller's statue is there, and it is written that this Chicago University was started in 1893 by a great donation of Rockefeller. So I could connect that maybe this was the public institution for which he might have donated. Of course, he had donated earlier, but it was a small amount. But over a period, he had made a huge donation. And as you know, in 2013, he started Rockefeller Foundation. And from that Rockefeller Foundation, so many researches have been done. David Borlaug made a research on the wheat, Mexican wheat, which saved the millions of people from hunger. How? Why? How could he do that research? Because of Rockefeller Foundation money. And Rockefeller Foundation was started by Rockefeller in 1913 after listening to the message of Swami Vivekananda of trusteeship management. And I was very much surprised when in the newspaper somebody wrote when the Bill Gates came for the first time that Bill Gates was inspired by Swami Vivekananda. I was very much surprised because at that time general opinion about Bill Gates was he believes in cutthroat policy. That was the impression about Bill Gates that time. I am talking many years back. So I was very much surprised how it could be. Because the newspapers, they asked, why have you come to India? Because I admire Indian culture. How did you admire? Because I read the books of Swami Vivekananda. Have you read any book of Swami Vivekananda? Then he said, I do not go to bed without reading a few pages from the books of Swami Vivekananda. I was very much surprised how it could happen. But then later on when I heard that Bill Gates has announced that bearing only $10 million out of that time he had $39 billion, out of which only $10 million for his children, rest all will give to charity. Not only that, in the year 2000, he started Melinda Bill Gates Foundation and gave a lot of $30 billion to start with that one. And every year from that foundation, he is the biggest donor, the largest donor, the greatest donor for so many years. Then I can visualize, I can understand, he must have read the books of Swami Vivekananda, of this trusteeship management, and of this serving the poor, of serving the millions. But I wanted to confirm. So I wrote a letter, I wrote a mail to Bill Gates. Is it really true that you have been inspired by the books of Swami Vivekananda? The reply came, we do not reply such questions. The standard replies are there. Because in the website they have given, in So I do not know. But there, in that website, there is a biography of Bill Gates where it is written that Bill Gates got his inspiration for charity from David Rockefeller, the youngest son of John D. Rockefeller. So that is the connecting link. Bill Gates gets the inspiration from David Rockefeller, who was the youngest son who got his inspiration from his father John D. Rockefeller, who was inspired by Swami Vivekananda. So whatever it is, but Swami Vivekananda inspired so many people. His voice inspired many people. After he has given up his body, this voice continues to inspire us through his books, particularly as I told you. And immediately after Swami Vivekananda left his body in 1902, in 1905, there was a big movement in Bengal, Bang Bhang Andolan. Most of the revolutionaries, they used to read books of Swami Vivekananda, get inspired with his message of nationalism. And so that is why the British government, the CID department, intelligence department, wrote to the British government that you must put a ban on the books of Swami Vivekananda. Particularly the book Patravali, the letters of Swami Vivekananda. Because when we go to the houses of these revolutionaries, sometimes we get the bombs, sometimes we do not get the bombs, but 2 bombs everywhere we get. What are the 2 bombs? One the book of Bhagavad Gita and one the book of Swami Vivekananda. Very dangerous books. So they saw it, books of Swami Vivekananda, very dangerous. It is they which are inspiring the revolutionaries. And that is why Dr. Radhakrishnan says, when we used to write letters to our friends, we used to quote the letters of Swami Vivekananda in our letters. Because letters of Swami Vivekananda book we cannot transfer to others. Then the intelligence department will follow us. So we used to quote the letters of Swami Vivekananda in our letters. That is how we used to exchange our views. But all our revolutionaries, all our great patriots, they got their inspiration from the books of Swami Vivekananda. The fiery words that he spoke, Swamiji, when he came back after returning, when he returned from the West in 1897, everywhere he was given a hero's welcome. And from Colombo to Almora, wherever he went, and that is why his lectures from Colombo are very inspiring. In reply, he gave very fiery speeches, very, very inspiring speeches. These are all embedded, included in the book, Lectures from Colombo to Almora, and now a shorter version has come in the form My India, the India Eternal. In these lectures you find a tremendous power. And Swami Vivekananda gave the clarion call, Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapyavran Nibodhata, arise, awake and stop not till the goal reach. And the whole country got awakened. 1,000 years of slavery, 1,000 years of sleep was shattered by the words, fiery words of Swami Vivekananda. And that is how these words, these then came in the form of the books. And these books again inspired the revolutionaries and the great patriots. Mahatma Gandhi, when he came to Belumat, our headquarters, that was on 6th February 1921.